If you want to learn how to live for free based on real estate, then in this video I'm going to share with you the 3 levels of financial freedom, and I'm going to share with you a strategy that you can use to get there. So check it out. You want to live for free based on your real estate investing. I love it. This is a perfect video for you. What I want to do is I want to share with you some of the information that I do when people come out to my 3-day financial summit event. It's called Liberate, and it's about that. It's about financially liberating you from the world. Now, for me, there are 3 basic levels of financial freedom, and I'm going to be sharing them with you right now. I actually have a software and a whole system that's set up on doing this, so you might want to come out to the event. Check this out. If you want to be financially free through real estate, then what we need to do is we need to first talk about what are the different levels of financial freedom. And I'm going to break them down by 3. I would write these down. The first one is what we would call basic financial freedom. The second one is what we are going to call job freedom. And the third one that we're going to do is we're going to call it dream freedom. So we got to first get our basic freedom, then we got to get our job freedom, then we got to get our dream freedom. Here's what this means. You and I, we got basic expenses in life, and once those get covered, we wouldn't consider ourselves financially free, but the stress and the anxiety and the burden goes away, right? You want to be financially free from real estate. At the end of this video, I'll actually share with you a diagram of how that works, but here's what I want you to understand right now. Basic financial freedom for me is like, all right, you either have rent or a mortgage, you have your car, you have food, you have insurance, you have a phone. These are the basic expenses that we have in life. Now, you wouldn't be financially free if you got those covered, but all we're really trying to do is here is say, hey, if my house was covered, my food was covered, and my car was covered, and my insurance was covered, then guess what? I know that you spend more money on going out to the movies, and you've got buying clothes and lavish thises and taking a trip. We're not talking about that. We're talking about basic freedom, which says my basic expenses get covered by real estate. The next level after that is what we would call job freedom. Job freedom is not being rich, friends. Job freedom is just what do you make that you're living on, and how do you replace that? So for example, let's say that you make $40,000 a year, then job freedom comes when you have $40,000 a year of a residual income. Now, you're not going to consider yourself rich, but this is definitely a moment to celebrate. In fact, I celebrate every time new residual income comes in my life that wasn't there before. Okay, then after that, guess what comes? Dream freedom. This is that financial liberation. This is where you say, well, this is the dream house I'd like to live in. These are the trips that I'd like to take. These are the things that I'd like to do. And with this dream freedom, this is where you're living up this dream lifestyle. And what it does is it's what works long term for you. And if you take a look at these 3 different levels, there's math that we can assign to all of them. Like right now, one of the things that you could do is you could say, wow, so my basic income, if I want my real estate to pay for everything, what are your basics? Your basics, for example, might run $3,000 a month, and that might come to $36,000 a year. Okay, so once those basics are covered, guess what? Then you've achieved that level of freedom. Job freedom, $40,000 a year replacing your job, guess what that means? You don't have to have a job anymore. Or you can keep the job working for, making 40 and have your real estate paying 40. Guess what you're doing now? You're making 80. Like now you're getting ahead really fast, but you could quit and leave your job. After that, how much more residual income that you need? You need enough residual income that you can live your dream style. And guess what? You can do the math on that. You could actually say, this is my dream house. It's 8,000 square feet. It would cost me $6,200 a month. This is what the insurance on it would be. This is the car that I want to drive. This is what it would cost me to actually have that car. Here are the trips that I want to take. I want to take a trip every quarter, 4 trips a year. I want to spend $10,000 per trip. I'll need X amount of dollars, $3,600 a month on average. In other words, you might find out, wow, I need $120,000 to live my dream lifestyle, or maybe it's $240,000. The point is that there's different levels of financial freedom, and if you understand that, let's talk about how you start low and end big, and how you can actually accelerate that and do that a lot faster. One of my favorite ways of doing this is through, as you know, real estate, and that's what this video is all about. And I want to talk about real estate in a little bit of a different way. Every single time you buy a house, it has a new why attached to it. For example, this first house might be there to help pay for a car. Like if you have a $400 a month payment, guess what you're looking for? You're looking for a house that can cover that very basic expense. So that you buy a house, it's producing $400 a month, and guess what happens to your car payment? It's wiped out. Then you say, well, I want my house payment covered. Well, to do that, I would actually need 2 more houses. If I had 3 houses, I could actually get my rent paid for, I could get my car paid for. And that would start to feel good. So you do that, that's bringing in $800 a month. And then guess what? You're now, every time you buy a house, you're moving into more freedom. Here's the cool thing. Money replenishes. Here's what I mean by that. Every 2 weeks or 4 weeks, if you have a job, you're gonna work and then you're gonna get paid again. But at the end of the month, you don't have to make your $400 car payment anymore. So what do you do with the $400 that you no longer, by the way, saving $400 is a big deal. What do you do with the $400 that you now have left over at the end of the month? Friends, that's more freedom. That's $400 a month of freedom dollars. You can't retire on $400 a month, but you do 3 houses. Now you got $1,200. Still can't quit your job, but guess what you got? That's $1,200 you don't have to spend on rent and a car. What do you do with that $1,200? If it were me, write this down, delayed gratification. Take that $1,200, reinvest it, put it into more real estate, put it into more real estate, put it in more real estate, because I did that in 4.5 years and I got up to 25 properties. Now I want to give you the cheat sheet because this is really big. Once you have 3 properties done, wouldn't you agree that you're going to feel more like an expert than when you had done nothing? You're totally going to feel more like an expert. 3 properties is 3 properties a track record. It's $1,200 of freedom. So I actually show people on my website what they need to do to actually start this process. But then I have my graduated process that says once you have a little bit of track record, that's when it's time to move into the game of partnering. Partnering is now when you're getting OPM, other people's money. And when you have other people's money, let's say you had $100,000 from them, what could you do? You could go buy 3 properties and you could do it faster than waiting to go at your slow pace. These first homes will be the slowest homes you've ever done. Do them right, do them profitably, because the bigger asset is not the $400 of freedom. The bigger asset is being able to go to other people with money and say, look at what I've done, look at what I did. And then they'll look at that and then if you've done it right, they'll say, oh my gosh, this kid's kicking the trash out of my 401k, out of my IRA. This is freaking awesome. Friends, creating that residual income, that passive income, and allowing real estate to pay for your life and living for free, basically think in terms of how many houses do I need? And then instead of getting, like for me, it was gonna be 25 homes to make $12,000 a month, and it took me 4.5 years. I was thrilled when I got my first deal done. So the most important thing for you to get out of this video is get your first deal done and get it done right. In a moment, I'll share with you the easiest way I know how to do that. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Make sure that you subscribe or check out some of our other videos. But if you really want to get your hands on those resources, like a mentor that can walk you through how to do this, I've got it all set up. It's brand new. It's waiting for you. So click on over to the website and I'll show you how it works.